Hello, Strath Haven Middle School families. Thank you for joining us. The presentation you are about to view has been developed to provide you with further clarification pertaining to the potential full in-person return to school. This presentation is based on the questions you submitted in either the questionnaire box, on the commitment form, or from emails that you have submitted. We fully understand that there are still plenty of questions surrounding our return. We will continuously monitor your questions and update the FAQs. I also wanted you to know that the deadline for your child's commitment has been extended to Wednesday, March 3rd at midnight. Please know that if you still have questions after viewing the presentation that inhibit you from making a final decision, you are to contact your grade level administrator as soon as possible. Thank you for your time and attention.
Welcome, Strath Haven Middle School families. As Mr. King said, this presentation has been prepared to provide more information on the choice of returning your child to the full in-person learning model or staying or changing to the online academy. The deadline has been extended to Wednesday evening, March 3rd at midnight, and we will continue to update the frequently asked questions on the website that are based on your feedback. For this presentation, feel free to pause it at any time to read the more detailed information listed. Some questions that have filtered in have asked about our current enrollment numbers. These numbers were pulled from PowerSchool on Monday, March 1st, to give you an idea of where the middle school enrollment sits currently. Our online academy has hovered at or around 100 students in each grade through the better part of this year. The difference in the overall class sizes, however, with our 6th, 7th, and 8th grades have led to slightly different numbers in each of our cohorts. At this point, we know that this change is going to occur, but the timing has not yet been determined. But we do know that it will not occur before the full in-person return of elementary school students. We also know that the details of the implementation of each class and each room is dependent upon the number of families who elect to return in person. Because of this, we can comfortably say that most classrooms will be able to maintain a distance of 6 feet between desks. But there are some situations where that might not be possible. Under the current proposal, those rooms that do not have adequate spacing for desks at 6 feet apart will have the distance modified to accommodate the necessary number of students. But no class will have anyone any closer than the required minimum of 3 feet. This change to our instructional model options was based on further guidance from both the CDC and the Chester County Health Department. The guidelines that reflect the reduced physical distancing based on community thresholds can be seen on the next slide. In this table, you can see the community transmission level as based on the 3-day incidence rate per 100,000 and the 7-day positivity rate. These levels are continually being monitored, and this data is being used to inform the decision of the district as to when we will open. For instance, the date of the elementary return to full in-person learning is dependent upon the incidence rate, which will be released this Friday, March 5th. It will allow us to either return our elementary students on March 18th or on April 5th if the incidence rate is too high. Here is a look at our county incidence rate for the last 4 weeks. Week 1 is the most recent week accounted for. The overview of this process can be seen here. The commitment questionnaire gives us the information that we need to analyze and use to start planning. The next few weeks will be used to look at every aspect of our school, the health and safety implications, the logistics of potentially doubling our in-person population, the time to make the physical adjustments to the school building, and the ability to communicate the changes that need to be made. The general plan overview provides 2 options: to return to the full in-person learning model or to enroll or remain in the online academy. Classroom distance of 6 feet will be maintained wherever possible. There are no changes to the requirement of masking or the distance of the lunch plan in the cafeteria, where 6 feet will be kept. And I want to send a special shout out and thanks to our flexible PE staff for letting us utilize part of the gymnasium to accommodate our lunches. Teachers will remain at 6 feet, and other mitigation measures will remain in place. With the secondary model, there will not be any need to have a change of teachers for changing your child's enrollment model for any reason. Teachers will continue instructing to in-person students and students online simultaneously. Zooming will only be available to students enrolled in the online academy or those who are homesick or quarantined. Having their Chromebooks available and charged for school will continue to be important for all students. With regards to attendance, the expectation is for students that are enrolled in the full in-person learning model will make a consistent effort to attend school regularly in person. Students who consistently miss in-person days without a medical reason may be moved to the online academy at the discretion of building administration. More information on the model for Wednesdays will be forthcoming. However, until we return to the full in-person learning model, Wednesdays will remain the same as they are now. Transportation needs will continue to be assessed and assigned by the Transportation Department. Transportation assignments could change dependent upon enrollment numbers, so it will be important to keep your eye on that, but parents are still encouraged to pick up and drop off their students whenever that is possible. Building protocols will continue to be revised, and the assurance and diagnostic testing will be implemented with staff in specific student groups. Things like the bus line and car line might have slight changes or streamlines to make them more efficient, and the district will continue to contact trace when cases occur and are discovered with individuals in the building. Hand sanitizer, disinfectant, alcohol wipes will all continue to be available in all locations, and the building cleaning plan will remain in place. Students are encouraged to bring their own water bottles as the fountains are not accessible during this school year. Updated and an alternative quarantine procedure is seen here, which allows students that are asymptomatic or any individual to return sooner if certain conditions are met. This is a slide I would recommend pausing to read how the quarantine period has changed and how you can return sooner if you are asymptomatic. A reminder that the quarantine period begins after the date of exposure, and there are no exclusions for staff or students for the alternative quarantine periods who live with individuals who work in healthcare or congregate care settings. Strath Haven Middle School is excited to be returning our spring sports seasons, which we anticipate beginning after the spring break on or around April 5th. All extracurricular activities, including sports and music, are available to all students, full in person or the online academy students. If you're playing sports, however, make sure you get that PIAA physical as they are required for participation. So our next steps are this. We will continue to update our frequently asked questions, and the family commitment forms are due by you for completion by Wednesday evening. You can submit a question to be addressed in forthcoming communication, and you can also email your child's grade level administrator with questions specific to your family's situation here. Mr. King in 6th grade, Mr. Buchler in 7th grade, and Mr. Kroll in 8th grade. Thank you for your time this evening, and good luck in making the decision that is best for your family.